like you
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Yeah. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Oh yeah. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Yeah. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. I ain't never really wanna flex my gifts, but I think it's my time. Let me check my wrist. You can never dim my shine. I'ma keep.
After the reviews started to pour in for Copperhead Strike, there seemed to be an underlined similarity that this roller coaster is the new Maverick. Well, after getting my own rides in, I can see the similarities, yet realize these two launch coasters have different strengths and weaknesses. Maverick, which is located at Cedar Point, opened in 2007. The ride stands 105 feet with a 100-foot first drop at 95 degrees. It has 4,450 feet of track, max speed of 70 miles per hour, 2 launches, and 2 inversions. Copperhead Strike is slightly shorter at 82 feet height, has 3,255 feet of track, max speed of 50 miles per hour, 2 launches, and 5 inversions. As we can see looking at the stats, Maverick takes an almost clean sweep across the board. I'm only counting 4 categories, which is height, length, speed, and inversions. Each stat can earn a half point, which will give Maverick 1.5 points, and Copperhead Strike a half point, which is for the inversion category. The view. I've always featured this category in every coaster duel, so why stop here even though these two roller coasters don't have a traditional lift? Maverick features the closest to a traditional lift with the launch lift. The view from the top isn't much, as you don't even crest the highest trees in the area. You do get a look at Lake Erie as you launch to the top, but the view doesn't last long. Copperhead Strike features no top hat element or lift. In fact, when you are at the highest point, you are upside down. However, because you are crawling along upside down, it allows you to soak in all your surroundings. During the vertical loop, you are looking straight down at the ride entrance. On the cutback, you are upside down staring at everyone waiting in the line. Because it's so unique, I feel Copperhead Strike deserves this point. First drop. Copperhead Strike features no first drop. In fact, the ride doesn't have a major drop at all, which is one aspect that makes Copperhead Strike so unique. Maverick, on the other hand, has a first drop, and it's one of the best drops in the park. This 95-degree, 100-foot plummet delivers some excellent ejector airtime. Maverick easily gets this point. Airtime. Both roller coasters deliver on the airtime, but in different methods. Maverick features a couple strong pops of airtime, including the first drop, airtime hill, and the speed hill near the end of the ride. Copperhead Strike does have airtime as well, but never really hitting those high marks on Maverick. The most notable moments of airtime would be the first airtime hill after the launch, the second launch, though I didn't think that airtime was too strong, and finally the bunny hill before the brake run. There is this crazy turn after the second loop, but that hill delivers more laterals than airtime. Looking over these elements, I think Maverick delivers the better airtime, earning another point. Hang time. Maverick may be the king of airtime, but Copperhead Strike is supreme when it comes to hang time. Maverick really only has one moment of mild hang time, which is during the horseshoe roll. Copperhead Strike has 4 moments of excellent hang time: the JoJo roll, 2 vertical loops, and the cutback. I think my favorite moment of the hang time has to be that cutback, mostly for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier. It goes without saying, but Copperhead Strike gets this point. The best inversion. Maverick has 2 inversions, which both compile of the twisted horseshoe roll. Copperhead Strike has 5 inversions, which all focus on hang time except for one, which is the corkscrew. I think the most memorable inversion has to be the JoJo roll right out of the station, which will in fact earn Copperhead Strike this point. Ride intensity. We all know that Maverick is walking away with this point. From the pullout during the first drop, high-speed turns, and the second launch, Maverick delivers a high-octane thrill ride that cranks out the intensity. Copperhead Strike, though it does have some crazy snappy transitions, never really reaches the level of intensity that Maverick can push, making Maverick the champion of this category. Originality. Both roller coasters have brought something new to the table. For its time, Maverick was a crazy roller coaster that introduced enthusiasts to snappy transitions, fast-paced inversions, multiple launches, and beyond vertical drops. Yes, beyond vertical drops had been around before Maverick, but in 2007, it was still a rare element, so Maverick could still serve as your first exposure to this kind of drop. Copperhead Strike, though taking some inspiration from Maverick, still treads its own path, focusing on hang time, fun air time, snappy transitions, and inversions. Copperhead Strike delivers a unique experience that feels fresh in a world full of LSM launching coasters. Originality will be a tie between the two coasters. Best Launch. Another no contest category, Maverick clearly has the better launch. Copperhead Strike has some of the weakest launches I've ever experienced on a roller coaster. Maverick, though not as intense like Top Thrill, Storm Runner, or King Ka, it still packs a punch, especially during that second launch into the tunnel. Copperhead Strike may have that seamless second launch with the airtime hill, but it never reaches the high marks that Maverick is able to pull off. Theming. This is going to be a hard category to rank. Maverick has the advantage of being the older attraction, meaning the foliage surrounding the roller coaster has really grown in, enhancing its theming and interactive elements. The foliage surrounding Copperhead Strike, well, what foliage? It is still ground that almost looks like a construction zone, basically no trees, and the plant life is very limited. Maverick features some nice rock work, interactions with the water elements, and of course, the tunnel, all working together to bring home the story of a crazy, out-of-control horse, or something like that. Copperhead Strike starts off in an event building that has some decent, put-together theming. The story may be weak, but it's still well done. The trains on Copperhead Strike look pretty cool, not to say that Maverick's trains look bad, just not as much theming like Copperhead Strike. I feel each coaster has its advantage and disadvantage in this category, so I think we'll end it with a draw. Laterals. At first glance, I thought this category would be an easy win for Copperhead Strike, but the more I started to compare their layouts, I realized it's not so cut and dry. Maverick has a couple notable moments of laterals, starting off with the high-speed turns through the rockwork, and then finishing off with those two overbank turns at the end of the ride. Copperhead Strike, I think, has more laterals because every turn has decent laterals, tossing you to the side of your seat. It's a close one, but I'm going to tip the category to Copperhead Strike. Okay, the final tally comes to Copperhead Strike with 6.5 points and Maverick with 7.5 points, making Maverick the winner of today's duel. As much as I like Copperhead Strike, at the end of the day, I still know that Maverick is the better roller coaster. It delivers on so many fronts, providing a well-rounded experience. I mean, I recently did a video dedicated to how awesome Maverick is. So, Copperhead Strike, though it didn't win, it's still a top-tier attraction. It's another well-rounded roller coaster focusing on different elements and forces, and of course, hang time. Honestly, I think I say this at the end of every duel, but it's all about preference. Both roller coasters are different, which is a good thing. I don't want another Maverick at Carowinds, so I think the route that they went with was the right move by building Copperhead Strike. Well, that concludes today's duel. Which roller coaster do you think is better? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, please click on the like button and subscribe. That way you continue to get more great content brought to you by Extreme Thrills.